What's up? This content is going to be about biology. Yes, I'm starting out on a biological journey, and this is the first episode. Today, what we are going to talk about is the amazing world of cells. Yes, we are taking a journey into the human body. So, have you ever wondered what's happening inside of your body? For example, when you get a cut, what's going on? How is it you're capable of healing? How is the blood able to stop flowing and then your body repairs itself? Well, all these informations, all this is thanks to cells, and today that's what we're looking at, the amazing world of cells. Now, the cells is part of the human body, and the human body is part of biology. So first of all, let's look at what is biology. Biology is all about life. And what biology does is that it helps us to understand how living things are structured and how they work. The main difference between living things and non-living things is organization. That's right, you heard it. Organization, being organized. So, characteristic of living things is for example, we human beings, we are super organized. And now you might be thinking that doesn't sound right, because if you're anything like me, you might say, oh no, I tend to be a little bit messy. But I'm not talking about, behavioral things. I'm talking about just the human anatomy, the anatomy structure, your anatomy structure, your biological makeup, how your body functions and how it works. Everything is done in a very organized way. That's just how the body works. Okay, there's also something foundational that is a foundational point to understand is that there organisms, living organisms, there are two types. So the first one is unicellular, which basically means just consisting of only one cell, and then there are organisms that are multicellular, which means they have many cells, and a human being is an example of a multicellular organism. So for example, we human beings, as multicellular organisms, we have something called we have systems, and part of one of our systems is the circulatory system, and it consists of organs such as the heart, the lungs, the kidneys, and so forth. And these organs, they consist of tissues. So for example, the heart has muscle tissues, which are made up of cells. So yes, muscle tissues, cardiac muscle cells make up those muscle tissues. Now, cells is an interesting thing. This discovery of cells happened many centuries back, and it was proposed by many people throughout the centuries. And it's kind of like detective work, right? How they discovered things pertaining to cells and develop our knowledge and how we're able to understand things where we are today at how our level of knowledge. So yes, it was discovered by many people. We can start back as far as the 14th century, where we had Italian monks who they invented magnifying glass spectacles. And then in the 16th century, there were Dutch technicians who made the first compound microscope. In the 17th century, there was the English scientist Robert Hooke, who examined cork slices under a microscope, and he saw cells. Then in 17th century also, there was Anton van Leeuwenhoek, who made a discovery of seeing tiny microorganisms. Then in the 19th century, there was the French scientist Henri Duch-Crochet, who suggested that all organisms are made up of cells. And also in the 19th century, there was the Scottish botanist Robert Brown, who discovered the nucleus in plant cells. And then also we had the German biologists, also in the 19th century, Schwann and Schleiden, who proposed what we now know as the cell theory. So yes, basically that's how they discovered. Discovery was made up until today. Cells are basically the building blocks of life. So let's take a closer look at what happens inside a cell. As you can see here in the background, pictures have been showing, and this right here is a cell. Look at all the tiny structures inside. Like you see this little, there are so many things in here, but one of them is the mitochondria, and that's like the power house of the cell. Then we also have the nucleus. It's like the control center, and as you can see, these things, cells are like a planet unto themselves, or like a world unto themselves. So we might say it's like a city, and it has so many things going on: factories, transportation systems, so many things going on in this tiny macroscopic thing. So yes, cells are hard at work all the time. They are doing things like repairing cuts, helping us breathe when we eat, helping us to digest food, and so many other things. We might say they are the heroes of our bodies, kind of like this guy, but they are very own. So that's all for our topic about cells. It's part of the world of biology. It's definitely fascinating, and like we said, they are definitely the tiny heroes who, help us keep on going every day. Even right now, as you're watching me and as I'm talking here, cells are hard at work. And or when you're feeling sick, they are doing their best to make sure that everything functions again properly, so that you can get back to doing what you love doing and going about the world doing your amazing things that you love. So that's all for today with this wall of cells. Thanks for watching. This is only the first episode. I'll try to make, I'm not going to try, I'm definitely going to upload more content in regards to biology, because it is definitely an interesting subject.